Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are very happy to be here to share with you some aspects of assessment for learning. And we just simply, guys, we are not that prepared. We're just going to simply share with you what we do in our classrooms. And I know, as you are, as much as stressed as I am when KHDA people are coming to visit us. And one of the things that they always look for is for like documentation of assessment for learning. So sometimes we just wonder, what do they want? Because guys, I'm sure as teachers, we always assess our students' learning, don't we? But maybe sometimes we need to find out some more systematic way to do that. Maybe sometimes we need just to document that and to make sure, and documentation is, guys, it's just not for KHDA, for ourselves, to know how much our students learned from our lesson and how we can help them go further and where they are at the moment. So my team and I, Miss Naima, Mr. Stephen, Miss Carrie, and Miss Walia, we are here to just share with you what we do in our school. And Miss Naima is here also to translate into Arabic. If there is anybody needing translation, please just raise your hand up so Miss Naima can be around to help you. And Mr. Schmidt, please.
Good afternoon, Ms. Jolly. You've got to stand close to me, please.
Yes. Sorry, guys, to use the mic.
Yeah, not because I'm insecure. It's just so I can speak into the mic. In front of you on the table, you would have...
Don't go away. You just have to stand. Okay.
Yes. On the table, you'll find a sheet that's headed like this. It's got a little cartoon of Charlie Brown. Could you each take one of those?
These ones.
This one. It's got the little cartoon at the top. And it reads, I said I taught him, I didn't say he learned it. How true is that sometimes about our students? So this is what we would call a rag sheet, a red, amber, green. At the bottom you'll understand, you would have used traffic light or some other system to indicate whether your students understand what it is. At the start of every unit, we get our students to fill out a rag sheet, and they will therefore have an idea of the assessment objectives, and based on that, they will then evaluate themselves whether they are confident versus maybe they know nothing about it. And so at the start column, we'd ask you just to tick where you are in terms of the 5 criteria. If you could quickly just assess your own understanding of assessment for learning by doing that. Thank you.
We do it at the beginning and the end of every unit.
Every
yes.
unit. Yes.
So would you please just now do it before we start? Just tick it for yourself and see where are you at. No, it's just for you guys. Okay. We are not going to... You can write whatever you want on it. It's for you. We are not going to take it away from you. Just evaluate yourself and see where are you at. We hope that at the end of this lesson, there will be some improvement and you can say that I didn't know something and now I learned. Fingers crossed. You promise? Yeah, do we know what we're doing? Yeah, that's good. So red means nothing, and amber means I'm just unclear, and green means that I know it.
The red stands for
yeah.
not confident.
Guys, red stands for not confident, and amber means comme ci comme ça, and green means that. Okay. So بچه‌ها ببینید این رد یعنی که من اصلا هیچی راجبش نمیدونم، راجب اون مسئله که دارین میخونین، بعد اولش at the start میکنین کار، مثلا الان یعنی مثلا هیچی انگار ما بلد نیستیم، خب یعنی ما هیچ درس ندادیم، درست شد؟ بعدش اون وقت امبر یعنی که مثلا من یه ذره میدونم ولی خیلی بلد نیستم راجبش. گرین یعنی که من قشنگ بلدم. وقت شما هر کدوم از این اسپکت ها رو باید به توجه به اینا مثلا تیک کنین at the start. بعدش ما دوباره بهتون وقت میدیم که آخر وقت هم شما این کار انجام بدید. Yeah, is that clear? Sorry, I was just translating into fast. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Okay. Guys, are we done? Yeah, we're done? Yeah, we all got it? All right. So I'm just going to give you a very brief explanation of assessment for learning. I know that always KHDA will put these PowerPoints up in their website, but this is a Prezi link, so if you want, guys, I can just pass you the Prezi, the link, but I'm not going to go through that all. And you might see that it's very like sophisticated words. I try to use that to just say that I know English, but honestly, it's very, very simple. What we are going to talk to you about is very, very simple. So I just put this saying up there that tell me and I will forget, show me and I may remember, involve me and I will understand. And that is what we try to do with our students. We want them to get involved in their learning. So what is assessment for learning? Assessment for learning is nothing but like a measuring stick. What you do during your lesson, at the beginning, at the end, you just want to make sure that your students have understood what you have taught them. As simple as that. But what do you need to do as a teacher to make sure that your prediction and your judgment about your students' learning is correct? Sometimes you think that your student is at, let's say, at IB level, we say at level 7, but when he does the exam, you see that unfortunately he got a 5. Where did you go wrong? Did you go wrong? Did something happen to the teacher? Were your judgment correct? Because that's very, very important. You need to be confident as a teacher to also talk about these judgments to the parents. Parents, they have all the right to know where their kids are at that stage that they're talking to you. So it has to be not only a method of assessment, but also it has to be very precise. It has to be reliable. And you have to use the assessment for learning at a time that it is really, really required. For example, when you saw that we have started our lesson with one of our methods as assessment for learning, so we do believe that that spot of the lesson is the important spot to start with. We believe in that. So this is one of the methods that actually we use when we do the assessment for learning. So what is your role as a teacher? You have to have a clear understanding of what is assessment for learning and what are you going to assess and which group of kids you're assessing. So according to the method, according to the kids, you can actually choose the method of your assessment. You can't use the same method with grade 13 who are like mature kind of young adults and use the same method with your grade 7s. You know, they want to jump up and down. They're all over the place. So you want just to get them involved without getting them bored of what you're doing with them. And maybe sometimes you just assess them without them knowing. But it's always better to assess them while they are aware of that and let them also to know the results of your assessment. Here simply, I'm going just to share with you the different ways to apply AFL. Assessment for learning. So AFL stands for assessment for learning, guys, so I just put it up there not to type it all the time. So some of the methods. For example, one of the things that is very, very important is making the aim clear. So making the objective of the lesson clear. That can be the objective of a lesson. That can be the aim for their achievement at the middle of the term. Can be the aim of their achievement at the very end of the term. Whatever aim you put for them or they set for themselves, it has to be very, very clear. So they know where they are looking for, where they are heading towards, and you know what you want to help them, how you can help them. Another method would be traffic lights. Sometimes we use this method in our classroom, so the kid's going to get some kind of like colored papers. Some they get red, some they get amber, and some they get green. Exactly like the method you were using. But of course, this traffic light is much more useful for youngsters, right? So you can give them these cards and let them show the cards to you if they have understood or if they haven't understood the aim or the objective of the lesson. I don't do this with my grade 13, do I? They're going to laugh at me. So what I do instead, I can easily use the rack sheet for them because it's at their level. So this is something as well that it's up to your judgment and see what method you're going to use. I'm just going very quickly towards these methods and just name them like bouncing. Okay? Like, for example, 2 stars and a wish. This 2 star and a wish could be a very good method when they peer assess. So you might give them a task and then you let the student peer assess and they assess each other's work, and they can write 2 things that they loved about that piece of work and 1 wish. So they wish that they have done, for example, something in another way, or they have added something to the work, or as that. So as you see, guys, I try to put all the information for you for these different methods that I put up here on the Prezi, and then you can as well access it. So I know that I don't want to talk too much. As a teacher, it's so hard, but we are just going to apply a couple of these methods, guys, here in this session, so you can get more familiar, and then we get feedback from you and see that how much you liked it, you didn't like it, and maybe you're going to give me 2 stars and a wish. So, Miss Walia, please.
Okay, so we are going to use we are using 4 different strategies here. For that, we have information on the table about enzymes. So we're going to look at different characteristics of enzymes, or we're going to look at, every table has a different fact sheet about enzymes. And the fact sheets are characteristics of enzymes. It might be on one table. Then action of enzymes, factors affecting enzymes, examples of enzymes. Also attached to that sheet is an assessment for learning. So one of the strategies that is applicable to that particular enzyme fact sheet. What you're going to do is you're going to work in pairs. So on your table, for example, if there are 8 people in each pair, you can pair up. You're going to look at the fact sheet, go through it, think about it, and in pairs, then you're going to try to understand what it's all about. Once you've done that, then you're going to assess your understanding by the strategy that has been placed there. So you have different strategies in each table. Using those strategies, the instructions about the strategy is also there, and you're going to use that and assess your strategy. Once you've done that, then on your table itself, you'll share what you've learned from the fact sheet and from the strategy. So that's how we're going to go about it.
So the facts on the enzymes is what the teacher would have taught the class, the teacher would have taught. The learning has taken place. Now you as the person who's interacting today is getting to know those facts. That's the learning. But then how do we assess for learning is the task that's attached to that.
Yeah. You have to read this, then do that.
Yes. So you read the instruction sheet, and then you assess your learning by that method that we put on your tables. Okay, you got what it's all about, right?
A couple of minutes to look at
Guys, we have 10 minutes to finish this up.
Yeah, you have 10 minutes.
And did you guys get it? Did you guys understood? And guys, the questions for this one, for the show and tell, we don't want to really bother you with that. We made all the questions for you. So one of you can be the teacher, the other one, or maybe if you want to put it in, like 3 of you can be the student and you can be a teacher. You can ask them, and then you have your whiteboard and you have your markers, so you can write and you can show the answers to your teacher. متوجه شدین چیکار نه میتونیم با هم دیگه بخونید. But guys, it doesn't matter how you approach that sheet, because that's how we, for example, we teach that, okay? So it doesn't matter really. You want to talk about it like 2 by 2, you just want to go over it, and it's not important. Just you have to learn it, okay, in a way. Of course, we can't learn it in depth. And then evaluate your learning by just, and show your understanding by posting these up on your reflection sheet. That is your reflection sheet up there. So if you have understood, if you're not, so you go actually up there and then you're going to put the reflections up there. آرش مجد همه چی مشخص.
If it's okay, I go with 3 together.
Yes, you can work 3 of you together and you 3 together if you want. But just interact, just do something, just be happy, be more excited.
Anyway, I can help you.
Okay, guys, do you know what's happening? Yeah.
This work is done.
Okay, so guys, this task is about like verbal tenets. So what you do is you're gonna learn the instruction, like what about the enzyme.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn this, okay, in a way, like 2 by 2 maybe, because we teach that to the students. Imagine that we have taught that to the students. Or you can do kind of a marketplace, like one of you might learn it and might teach it to others. Thereafter, in order to see how much you've learned, you're going to sit 2 by 2 in front of each other. And then one of you, like for example, you learned that amylase is for starch, right? For breaking down. Am I right? I'm chemist. Okay, so amylase is for like breaking down the starch, right? So you will say starch, okay? The guy in front of you should say amylase. And then the guy, when you said amylase, she said starch, you say amylase. And then you will say lipase, she has to say fat, without hesitation. So then you have to come up with a term, and then you have to just ask her. If there is anybody like have any hesitation, so you're going to win, and it's like a tennis marking, like what do we say? Like a scoring in tennis, and then you have a winner and you have a loser at the end, right? I think it's a little bit hard to understand what verbal tennis is about. I actually read it hundreds of times. Guys, do we understand what's the task is? Oopsie. Yeah, we got it? We got it? Okay, that's good. That's good. So you guys, you can learn this with each other. You don't have to just sit and read it. That's very boring. So talk to each other. You're supposed to learn.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, you made the question. You asked the question, and she wrote the answers on the whiteboard.
No, I got your idea.
You got my. Oh, why do we have this one here? We have Post-it here. No, you should not have a Post-it.
Actually, I thought it's the same sheet for table, so I
You were not taking.
I'm the naughty one.
She's the naughty one. Okay, sweetie. You can also do.
And I told her from a nice place.
Where do you think I'm from?
No.
Shoot.
I said
Not
Jordanian.
where?
I said Jordanian.
I'm not Arab.
No way.
So how? If I'm not Arab,
Iranian. Exactly.
I'm Iranian.
Yes.
I'm Iranian.
Half Turkish, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever. Whenever somebody tells you I'm half whatever, I'm mixed origin, whatever,
No,
forget
that's
it.
seriously
Anyways,
my
check the
point.
passport. Anyways, my point.
I swear, I am.
Okay. And you're half what?
That's why
My
you're
mom,
cold.
she's
No, and half?
half Jordanian.
Oh, okay. But I'm not Arab. Unfortunately, I can't speak
I'm a
Arabic.
proud Arab, by the way.
No. I'm saying that I can't speak Arabic. That's why I'm saying I'm not Arab. Yeah, you have to be proud of wherever you are. And I'm very, very proud
Sense of
Iranian.
humor, you're so much into love. You love life.
Yeah.
It's clear.
And I'm
That's
beautiful.
expensive.
Say
Yeah,
it.
Definitely.
Say
Definitely.
it.
Definitely.
Okay, so guys, for this one, what you're gonna do is just you're gonna learn this, okay? And then you're going to actually we put the
She's a
post-it
slow learner,
things.
by the way. I cannot partner together.
We put the post-it notes actually on those 2 tables. So then you're going to actually reflect on your learning, and then you're going to post it on those post wall, okay? That it's written that I understood, I didn't, or I am unclear. That is the wall. That's green and yellow, okay?
Thank you so much.
Come on, answer the question. Oh, did you show the answer?
She was a teacher before the student.
Oh, you were lovely. Oh, that is so good. So you can change the role and you can test her and see.
She already knows the answer.
How come? Oh, yeah, you asked all the questions. Oh, you're very quick. Very, very quick. Well done.
I think it's to the lead class.
Not yet. We have to give you some instruction before that. Yeah. Okay, that's lovely. Could you just follow that? Do you find it interesting or not?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think for students, they really like it because they want to win. And usually in my
Become like a
classes,
game night.
I give some like prize for that. And there are 2 things sometimes I do. Sometimes I just give them stamps, and in our school stamp is a very big thing. Like, so they have to collect stamps, and the one with more stamps from the teachers like will be the student of the month or this and that. So it's a very big thing, the stamp. And we give them like in different areas of IB learner profile. So they have it in their diary, so they collect stamps, which is very good for them. And as well, but I think like chocolate is much better. So usually I bring like chocolate lollipops to my class, and then I will throw it out to whoever is like getting it better. But it needs kind of a supervision. So sometimes what I do, when I pair them up, I put one of the another student as a supervisor of that, and then so he will collect. That's what I'm saying. No, this one is not for actual recording. This is for me. No, this is for me to know where are we at. And then when I get the results from my student, I get the result and say, oh, that's not that good,
Then you
right?
change your teaching
And that's what, guys, I really do. And what I need to tell you guys is that KHDA loves to see this. Like when you do some activity and you get some feedback from the students, and then you reflect back on your unit planner or on whatever you guys, I don't know what system you follow, but on your lesson plan, and then if you show them that you have done
They are very
that,
happy.
they will be really, really happy. And not only because of them, guys, that's what I was telling the other table. I did, I don't know if you're if anybody chemist here? Chemist. So I was teaching to my students, which I don't like this topic. It's about extraction of iron and aluminum. And the students did, it's very dull unit. And when I was teaching it, and I taught it to my IG kids, and then I went to the result analysis website of them, and I saw that my student did worse in that question that was related to it. So I took it from there and I changed the whole plan of mine. Guys, it's not a miracle, but I'm telling you, this year when I checked the edXL website, I saw that question was not only best answered amongst the chemistry question, but the best amongst all three sciences. So it's really worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really worth it to do these activities and reflect back on our teaching. Thank you. Did you reflect up there? They are still unclear. Come on.
Yes, yes.
Move. Put some green up there, Sadiq. Come on. Okay. Are these from your group, guys? Are these from your group? But you're unclear about what?
If this is just giving you, so if you look at this and think, I have no idea, you pick the red.
So may I ask you please to write, what are you unclear about? You wrote there, I'm still unclear. So you know some students, they just want to get rid of me.
Yeah.
So they just stick that, I'm still unclear. What about? Exactly. And then put, I am unclear about, and then write it down for me. Like, I don't know whatever it's there. I don't know, guys, what is there, honestly. I'm a chemist, all right? So whatever. Just write it down and then stick it there. So for me to refer...
That it's unclear after explanation.
Yes. We did the task, we did everything, but still they are unclear about it. But they have to write about what? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Guys, if you have any post-it and you want to post it because we don't have that much time, and if you're still unclear about something, you have to write down exactly what you're unclear about. Because as I explained to the other group, sometimes the kids, they just want to get rid of us, right? So they say, I'm unclear.
Write whatever they
Right,
want.
I'm just on. But unclear about what? So that I can reflect back and I can get back to them. And sometimes I ask my students even to write their names, just to get back to them and be able to help them.
Hopefully you had that. We realize that there's quite a few biologists in the room, so you probably already know quite a bit of enzymes already. There's a session earlier today that did a digestive system as well, so we're full of enzymes today. What we'd like you to do is have the opportunity to try one of the assessment for learning tasks or the strategies. We'd like you to, in your table, you'll see that there's a big piece of poster paper and there's a marker. Could you designate one person to be the scriber? And we'd like you to consider these three questions. What was your assessment for learning tool? So just give a brief summary of what it was all about. How did the tool work? And think about when you could actually use that tool as part of your teaching. Okay, we're going to give you a couple minutes to think about it, and then we're going to feed back to one another. Okay?
So write it down on those big poster sheets that you have, please. خب اون سوالا اون وقت باید جواب بده. چطوره؟ خوبه؟ خب من میخوام از تو بپرسم که فقط بدونم که خوبه. Love you. Okay, so we know what we are going to do. Just those questions should be answered. And then guys, if you have somebody, so we might ask that person to stand up and speak about it, right? So be ready.
things first.
So yes, guys, we know what we are going to do? Yeah? So we just have to answer those questions with regards to our AFL.
This regarding to what we got today.
Like KWL you've got?
So we have
What
got
was
the KWL
it and
chart.
how did you find
So what
it?
was
Like,
our
yeah.
AFL tool?
Did you like that method? Did you like this method or not?
Yeah.
Comme si comme ça or what? Did you like it like kind of?
We use.
You use that. Actually, I wanted to show a film and I forgot, but I'm going to. Tell what time is that our session? 2:10. Oh, this still we have time. Tutu, we are a little bit ahead of time, like because we have 15 minutes. Yeah, and then I didn't show my film.
That's why I got gave up to start.
No, it's okay. I forgot, but now I'm going to show at the very end. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I just totally forgot. I didn't look stressed, but I was very stressed.
That's why I wasn't absolutely.
Yeah, rare day.
I think she has not.
It's okay.
No, it's maybe not a good question. Is in other words, how a basic idea of how to introduce. Yeah, basically. To sum up.
Give them a test.
You can't do this as a main activity. Why would you do that?
But you can, if you're going to do this, you will give them a text. They will read. Depends what you're learning.
Of course, you can't use every method for every lesson. You can't use that. That would be just a very like I can say formative assessment while you are teaching them is and you know guys, I'm going to show you something now. Actually, I should have shown it before, I forgot. But it's just like a film of one of my classes that I use Socrative in. I don't know if you are familiar with Socrative. And then that's a more advanced show and tell. You know what I'm saying? But that is much better. Oh, I know, that's what I exactly want to say.
You can do it on iPhone as
You know
well.
what? Kids, they have iPhone. Kids, they have Galaxy.
You don't let them bring?
You don't let
We have
them.
an IT department where we actually can bring it to the classroom.
Yeah, we have iPads.
Yeah, we get
We
the
do have iPads, then we borrow it, we take it to the class. And also, but our students, they're allowed to carry their mobiles with them. Of course, not to use them in the class time. But and from the time we told them, you can carry it, but don't use it, they don't use it. But before, when we did restricted that and we didn't let them. Anyhow, so they use their own iPad. And then they answer to me, and then you will see here, and then that is documented. This might not be documented. This is majorly for you to get an idea. But that one will be documented. You have it in your room, that is Socrative one, and then you can see, and you will see me, like, my students answered LIBR, like, most of them, they answered LIBR for the formula of lithium bromide. And then one wrote Li7Br, and I said, I'm going to kill you. And you can see that, actually. And then the other one wrote LIBR2, something like that. So then at the very end, you will see that by doing this activity, I just tell them, guys, what was the problem? Why some of you couldn't answer it right? So then they come up, and you will see that, guys. They come up with the problem. Oh my God, what are you doing? It's okay, Stephen, it's all right. It's all right. They still can see. And so that's an advance, I can say, show and tell.
Because
right?
you know, I think with show and tell, as a teacher, I can use it as a main activity. It depends on the
It's
text.
lovely. And guys,
And the type of question.
and guys, that is lovely for youngsters. They love to draw. You can even ask them to draw something, and the first person who answered it right, they can just show it to you, and like, oh, okay, so you can throw a lollipop, and then that will. Carrie.
some of them get into the action.
Carrie, do you want to check and see where they are at?
Okay.
No, just see if they are at, and we can just give them more time.
Most of them are good. Okay, just gonna wrap it up here. We could talk forever. Some of you are really excited about assessment for learning. There were 4 different tasks, 8 tables. If we could just feedback on each particular strategy so that you can go home with something or a tool and think, maybe I might try that at next lesson. Table at the front here, we had 2 tables that did an activity called show and tell. Would anyone like to volunteer?
Talk about
Guys, be volunteer or we call you up. So you have to talk.
show and tell.
Yeah, you have to show and tell.
And you can describe. So show and tell, what was it all about?
Alright, our AFL tool was show and tell, and we think that it might work well for a smaller group, but be challenging for a larger group.
So what was it all about? Just for those of you that didn't do it, what did you do?
How did you do it?
We were a 4-people group, and I was like a teacher, and they were like my students, and they all have a white board, and I asked a question, they write the answer on it.
And then they show the answer to everybody.
On the board.
And then show it, yeah.
And can you think of, just so that everybody has another, just another idea where they can actually apply it into their own students? Question 3.
We thought it might be useful for the beginning aspect.
Battery says very low.
What? Oh my God, so if I don't show the movie then.
It says, look here. It says battery 2 is currently a fault condition, battery placed in it. And it's saying system very low. It's going to shut down soon.
Can we go and call them?
Can be shown, can actually be moved around groups and they can up level and create a better sentence.
Exactly, that's bouncing.
Very, very useful.
Yeah, that we call it bouncing. Like we just write it and then they bounce on each other answer. But that's a very, very good idea for show and tell. Then we can just join the 2 methods. That's very, very nice. Thank you.
We can use this tool for sharing the new words they have learned.
Exactly. That would be really, really
And
good.
also, if you want to sort of differentiate it again, instead of, written words, students can draw what they understood from last lesson or this
That
lesson.
show has a very broad perspective. You can actually have a role play. Show can be, so many ways. Show in the form of a role play. Show as a diagrammatic representation. So many different ways.
Great, thank you for sharing.
Just one more thing. For this no hands, what happens is when you ask, and some children, they're always their hands up and they want to answer, but if you have this of writing...
Exactly, so you can control that. Yes, thank you very much.
Just a point on the whiteboards. I mean, I have to say I come from the primary background, so I'm not secretary. But one of the issues we have is, and I don't know if you get in secondary, where children will want to write on it and show before you're asking for it. So, we often have to use a trigger to say, otherwise you've got kids doing this and everyone's going, oh, thank you very much, It's,
So you can just, I think that you can have some reward system, telling them, okay, guys, if you show it before, you'll be out of the league. So then I count by 1, 2, 3, show. And then that time, and it will be really, I think it works very well for primary. Of course, high school, they just say, oh, okay, so it takes time for them to just show it to us. But no, they're good. They're good. Our kids are good. Our angels.
It's nice. One question at a time, then there's
Yep.
kind of a sequence.
Yeah. So can we go to the, oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, Carrie, sorry. They have something to say here, Ms. Jenkins, sorry.
Just one thing. The reason why I think this strategy really works for me is because it brings a shy kid out.
That's lovely. Yeah,
Because
that's,
some people are really hesitant in saying they don't project their voice, or they just don't want to be involved in that whole conversation. So this activity, the only reason why it really works for me is when
The shy
kids,
word.
they can just scribble a thing on their whiteboard.
That's
and then
lovely.
Give it to the whole people.
So the visual learner can draw the pictures and
Exactly.
write the words.
okay, Carrie.
Let's have I'm sure everybody's heard of,
Yeah, guys, we're okay? We're okay?
I'm sure everybody's heard of KWL before. Could I ask for anyone to give a brief, maybe let's just say how we can actually apply it, in particular
KWL?
or you guys?
Somebody? Come on.
KWL.
Okay, thank you very much.
The AFL tool that we have is the KWL chart. Okay, so much. So So we have a chart like this. It's 3 columns, K, W, and L. K stands for what you already know, and W stands for what you want to know and what you have learned after the end of the class. So we plan to administer this twice during our lesson. This chart is given in the beginning as a starter, yeah, and then they write in this column K what they already know about the topic. The objective is there on the board, and they write what they know, and the next what they want to know about the topic, and that is also what they need to know, what they're eager to know. So that's also marked, and then they keep it aside. Then the class is carried out. After that, at the end of the session, that is plenary, they note down what is learned. So this is actually a self-evaluation tool for the students, to know what they have learned and what they already know and what they have learned, and it is a follow-up tool for the teacher. The teacher from at the end of the class, she collects this and she comes to know that what other measures she has to take in order to improve that topic. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Elementary stage?
But you just have to make it like smiley face or like like that. Yeah, you can alter that like smiley faces.
Can I just add?
Yes, please.
A bit of research to be done, because the KWL grid has been around a long time.
Yes.
But there's also the KWHL grid, which is really nice, and I use a lot. I teach year 6, so I use a lot of that with that, and that's where the extra column is how I learn.
Yeah,
so
that's
they will
lovely.
Identify the resources and tools that they use.
That is that involves
I found that even more effective.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry, if you're an MYP school or an IB school, it's really good when we look at the
یعنی کشتمت ها، یعنی کشتمت اگه این الان خاموشه. من فیلممو هنوز نشون ندادم. تو رو خدا ها، ببین من یادم رفت اول فیلممو نشون دادم. خب تو رو خدا یه کاریش بکن.
والله يا بالفارسي العظيم ما موجود الآن.
What did he say? What did he say? You say something about Farsi.
No, good.
No, he understood that it's Farsi.
Oh, you understood that it is Farsi. Yeah. So is it working now? Guys, I just need to show one film, a very short film. Thank you.
And the child will bounce back with another related word with that particular same topic. Connect the words in the same lesson.
It's very good if you have a vocabulary list that you want to, and with words and definitions, especially the weaker students when they want to practice that and they want to get to know in biology, they come across so many different words. So, or any other subject as a matter of fact. So that's very good. Verbal tennis plays an important role in that.
And I just want to add something to it, guys. I think that for all of them, the reward system works very, very well. And like you can encourage the students to participate in this. Just the reward system in our school is just stamps, and like we give them stamps and they collect the stamps and they love it. But as well, like I was explaining to that group, as simple as a chocolate, as a lollipop. And then you can just give them like whoever wins can get a chocolate, can get a lollipop. So that works pretty well.
Can I add?
Yeah.
We even have a chart put up on the wall, and
The name.
stars.
Yeah, exactly. You give stars.
So
It depends on what level they are at. Yes, thank you. And very last group, if we want them.
Last strategy is all about Post-its, and it has to do with this wall over here. Either of the groups like to share?
Yeah.
This group had some really good.
Yeah.
I'll hold it for you. Don't wait.
Yes, please.
Our strategy is post-it, wherein the students are given different colored papers. For green, it stands for what do they know already. The red one, which we usually give concentration, yes, because meaning something written here is our topic for focus is the red letter, the red
Paper.
Because what they have written here is what they don't know.
They don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it worked because we can answer it immediately and focus on the red paper because we're going to discuss more, elaborate about those questions. It's not time consuming. And number 3, we can do this when we have limited time and we have heterogeneous class. For example, those one who have written in green, meaning they fully understood, and the same question on the red, meaning the green, those who write on the green could help.
Exactly. That's a very, very good way of applying it. And guys, one thing, I'm sorry, just one thing that I want to add is that it's the same thing I explained to the groups. The one that we just say I'm still unclear about, it's like, I think it can be like a breakthrough for too many kids. They just say, I'm still unclear, and tough. They just stick it to the wall. But when we say I'm still unclear, our emphasis should be about what. So you have to write down what you are still unclear about. You can't say that I didn't get the lesson. No, that's not acceptable. For example, I didn't get the pH, right, of your lesson. I just didn't understand the pH. That is acceptable, right? So they can stick it there. If you don't have time to get back to it, it's all right. You can collect them, you can go over them, guys, and then you can find out what area you need to focus better. One thing that I really would like to add, guys, is that this helped me a lot, these reflections and our department, that we reflect back on our unit planners and on our lesson plans. And I always give this example, and I talked to already a couple of groups about this. I was teaching, I'm a chemistry teacher, so I taught to my students the extractions of iron. And that is such a dull topic, right? So they don't like it, so maybe I didn't teach it well. And so when they wrote the exam, the IG exam, when I went to the edXL website, Results Plus, I saw that question was the worst question that my students have answered. So so they did the result analysis for me. But doing these methods, guys, you can do the result analysis for every topic that you're teaching. So when I get back to that and I saw it, I immediately got back to it and I talked to Mr. Schmidt about that, and then we together changed the whole plan. And guys, I do not exaggerate. This year when they wrote the exam, this question was answered, not only the best answered question amongst the chemistry questions, but also amongst the bio and physics. So that's why we are sharing these with you guys, because we do know how important the reflection can be, not only for our student, but also for our teachers to reflect back on our unit planners.
Can I just say something there?
Yes, of course.
We have a head of department who's a bit of a taskmaster, because at the end of every formal assessment, we as the subject coordinator for that particular subject and that paper have to do a thorough post-assessment. So what we do is we look at it from a question by question, and we identify which questions the students did well in, which ones did they do badly in, and then we are made to put into place strategies that we've got to employ next year to ensure that we address those needs. But if you do that, 2 or 3 years down the line, you begin to see the fruit of your post-assessment.
Time's up.
But in terms of your formal assessments, it really is
I can't show the movie.
What?
Time's up.
Dissect your exam paper and say which questions really targeted and which ones didn't, and which one highlights the needs that we've still got to address within our department.
So, yeah, guys, can I ask you for something? We don't have really time, but we want first to give you something as something to take back with you to your classes. And as well, can you reflect back for 1 second, reflect back on your rack sheet, please? Can you just get back to your rack sheet that we gave you at the beginning and just see that how much you have understood? If you have understood anything, we'll really, really be the happiest people on earth. Thank you.
I just wanted to share something with you that I did actually last week with my grade 10 class. This lesson was all about enzymes, and this is my plenary task. I was lucky I had a double lesson, so I had quite a bit of time. And I wanted to assess what they understood based on the sheet similar to what you've done today. Okay, so they were given this sheet here, and on one side there are 19 questions, and they're true or false questions. So what they had to do is they had to answer true or false, and what they had to do, it corresponded to the QR code on the reverse side. So if the answer was true, on the reverse side where the numbered box is, they would shade it in. Okay? And what they had to do is once the box was completely filled, they answered all 19 questions, they had to actually scan the QR code to get the final question.
Nice.
And there was a bit of a cartoon that came up. But it was really good because we did an independent task, similar to what you've done today. Each group had their own particular topic on enzymes,
They were then assessed individually what they understood from each other, and then they had a final activity that again assessed whether if whoever got the cartoon, obviously.
So you can use all the different things in the same class at the same time?
That was my lesson.
Oh, nice.
That was my lesson.
But that depends if you have iPads, iPhones around, like that depends on what you have in your school. We are fortunate, we do have these, but some schools they don't have. That's why we didn't want to do it here today.
It's a
Website.
application that you can download
Yeah.
on your phone, and most of the students are putting it. This lady was saying that I would like to give a percentage, so sometimes
This is something we have on the computer that we can like even provide our kids with. Like we design the same.
You know what you can do? You can give whatever. You can write whatever, and then that one you go to QR code website, and then it's going to convert that into the QR code, and then. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Tipti, what's the website called? Yes, of course.
I haven't seen that video you said about the lithium bromide when they were writing.
Yeah, because I didn't have time to show it, sweetheart. But that film I cannot give. Actually, I'm so sorry because it's students, and I'm not allowed to show that to you. But I can give. On that one is Socrative. You can just try to do Socrative yourself. And then you go to Socrative. No, it's not an app. It's just a website. You just go into the website Socrative.com, and then when you go there, you register yourself. When you register yourself, they give you a room number. Okay. Then the students will register under your room, and then you put questions up, and then you can just you can work it out in the class.